Hey there, Hail Stalkers. We are live at the Raising Hail Tour 2026. It just got started today. We are in Edmond, Oklahoma. So we are live on location, and I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek. So this is the room that we're going to do the forecast in, and we're going to come back and still do a regular forecast. But again, we are live on location, so a lot of fun things happening. Amy, you can't run away just yet. Here's Amy right here. We have our entry booth right here where people are coming in, checking in. We also have a really cool Yeti cooler we're going to be giving away a little bit later. Very exciting, and we're going to be doing stuff like that at every single one of our stops. So if you're not here today, obviously, if you're watching online, you're not here, and we still have 5 other stops. Now it's going to get a little loud now because Derek has started presenting. So let me quickly just show you. Here's our ballroom part 1. We had lunch in here. We have a lot of sponsors going on, and then we're going to be quiet for a second and listen into what Derek is saying.
10, 12, 12, 12. Who thinks it's 10, 12? Who thinks it's 12, 12? I'm guessing so. What's that little bottom piece called there? It sticks out. I can walk on that all day long. What is that? Is it all that? I want to hear. I don't think all that. That's what I was about to hit when I looked at it. Anyway, so why, right, that I'm up here speaking to you guys, so how did I get into this industry?
So as you guys can see, Derek is talking right now live, kicking off the Raising Hail Tour 2026. Again, he has the industry's best hail forecast. And if you want to see that, you want to know where storms are going to hit 2026, which locations, where do we think 5-star events are going to be, all of that is going to be on the Raising Hail Tour. So showed you a sneak peek again behind the scenes. This again is our check-in booth. So you'll see something like this very similar on all our other tours. And again, we have this really cool Yeti cooler that we're giving away later on. We have these awesome Raising Hail Tour t-shirts with Derek's face on them. We have fun giveaways all throughout the day. So you come, you listen to the best forecasts in the industry. You get to meet a lot of other industry experts. We feed you, get a t-shirt. It's all a lot of fun. So Derek is speaking right now. We're not going to take too much away from him. We will come back here and do the forecast. So I'm going to set this phone down, and then we're actually going to give you a live forecast. But also make sure that you guys are staying tuned all day today, the fun things that are happening with the forecast, because if you don't, you're not going to see all the fun stuff on social media too that we're going to be posting all day long from the Raising Hail Tour. So I'm going to switch my light over here to my computer.
My producer John is going to switch me over. John, does everything? Mike, good. I think everything is good to go. Perfect. So the Raising Hail Tour starts today, kicked off in Edmond. Let me see if I can change over really quickly. I'm going to plug this in. All right. Okay, let's do this. Raising Hail Tour starts today. We are in Edmond, like I said, live on location right now. Super exciting to be here. Ooh, I hear 2. All right, I think we're good. Perfect. Sorry for technical difficulties. This is fun for us, but we again are in a different spot. So Raising Hail Tour kicks off in Edmond. We are super excited about everything that is happening here today in Oklahoma City. It's going to be a really fun event. And if you guys have been seeing us kind of promoting this a lot, it's for a good reason. We're really excited about the Raising Hail Tour kicking off today, but we have a lot of other cities too that you can come to if you want to see what all the fun is that's happening with the Raising Hail Tour. We have Denton, Texas on Thursday. Tickets are still available. You can also DM us. We have 50% off codes. So if you're like been on the fence about it, but you still want to come, definitely make sure that you're coming. We have Denton on Thursday. Next week we go to Omaha, then it's Chicago, then it's Denver, and then we finish in Minneapolis on March 3rd. So whole month of the Raising Hail Tour, lots of fun things going on. Storms are happening in the south too this afternoon, eastern Texas all the way into the western sides of Mississippi. So we're going to show you guys that here in just a second. And then a pattern changes in coming. We've had really cold and snowy into January, just kind of first month of the year. You get all kinds of crazy weather. Now things are starting to change that it's February. Currently, conditions across the U.S. You had a low pressure system kind of moving, giving some of that rain chances that we're seeing in the south from eastern Texas across Louisiana, parts of Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama. You're starting to see some of this rainfall too. And these scattered showers will continue over the next 3 hours into this afternoon. Not really expecting severe weather today, so that is good news. We'll jump up to the northeast, a little bit of snow in some spots, West Virginia, Ohio. Overall, not an insane amount of snow to talk about. There's that rain that we were just mentioning to the south. A lot of it is across Mississippi currently. Central portion of the U.S. not seeing a ton of action. And then on the West Coast, a little bit of rain off the coast of Washington and Oregon. Again, not a ton of activity ongoing. Temperatures across the area, a little bit colder to the north. You're in the 30s. Portland, New York, Fort Wayne, Kansas City, you're sitting at 31, but you're in the 60s in Dallas. So that warmer air is moving in. All right, let's talk about this afternoon. We just told you storms to the south today, so this is what you're seeing. This afternoon into the overnight hours tonight, we'll just continue to see these kind of scattered showers. The severe threat is very limited today. We're saying maybe just possibly in the right setup, one storm, maybe two, could have some stronger winds and quarter-size hail. That would be what would give it that severe threat. Again, about around an inch of hail. Not expecting anything crazy. Then you head to the rest of the week, to this Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The pattern stays quiet kind of the rest of this week, but then looking ahead into next week, we are expecting things to start to change. So like I said, for your Tuesday forecast, today, February 3rd, maximum hail size would be a quarter, and that really is stretching it. I don't think we're going to really be dealing with that for today. Future radar, we can play this through. Play this through. All right, here we go. Seeing where that activity is ongoing right now, areas across the deep south, and a little bit of rainfall coming into areas like Oklahoma. We'll zoom in a little bit closer just so you can see this again one more time. So this is right around 1:30 this afternoon, seeing those scattered showers across Louisiana. Maybe some stronger, again, seeing those yellows and oranges and reds. That's indicating, hey, a little bit stronger thunderstorms possible in parts of Tennessee, Mississippi. Again, the severe threat is extremely low. This is tonight around 5 o'clock, so still seeing some of those thunderstorms. This line continues to move off towards the east, and I really want to take your attention down towards Houston. If there were to be any storm, again, that does have the possibility today to reach that severe status. I think it would be around this really southeastern part of Texas, Houston down to like Lake Charles, maybe New Orleans. That kind of area in Louisiana is really what I'm looking at for the better chance to see one or two storms today. That if it was possible to be strong enough, I don't think that's very likely that that's something that we're really going to have to worry about. So that's playing that throughout the rest of today into tomorrow. This is around 4:30 tomorrow, really just seeing some rain in a lot of these areas too where snow is. You can see South Carolina, North Carolina. The rain will help melt some snow. Heavy snowpack in some of these areas. Temperatures are warming up now, but getting this rain on top of it will really just start to kind of melt that, and that will help too as well. So we finished playing that out. Also, at any point in this forecast, if you guys have any questions, my producer John is watching very closely. I will try to answer any questions that you guys may have. I think I might have had my screen blocking any questions so far. So if that were the case, that is totally my bad. I will continue to watch for those questions as they come in. All right, let's talk about rain chances over the next several days. As you can see, it's pretty limited for a lot of the U.S. Where we're seeing a lot more of that moisture, though, will be more along the East Coast and the Deep South. So that's kind of where we're indicating, hey, that's the rain that we're seeing right now, Wednesday as well. And then we'll start to see a little bit of a pattern shift into next week. And I think that's really when we start to kind of get a better chance of seeing some rain back towards the plains. And you can see that here with our future jet stream. There's that little low pressure system right now I showed you at the beginning. Had a cold front that moved through Oklahoma, giving us that ongoing rain, but a really strong high pressure system is out towards the west. It'll start to move more this way, and that's going to kind of block our really weather chances throughout the rest of this week, at least, having that high pressure system sticking around. But then I want you to notice how it kind of jumps back towards the west off the coast. That will set up next week these little dips you can kind of see here from the high pressure system to the low pressure system. Areas like Oklahoma, Texas, where you see that little dip in the jet stream, that's where we'll have to watch after this weekend into early next week, the better chance to see maybe some storms firing up. And then you can see that high pressure system really gets going off towards the west. It's like way out into the Pacific at this point. And that's when we really have a better chance on Tuesday, and then more like Wednesday and Thursday next week too, for that next chance to see some storms. So future radar kind of highlighted that there's a little bit of snow that you're seeing maybe by this weekend. Midwest, I don't think it's going to be a ton of snow, not something to really worry about. Then we get to Tuesday morning. You see that next round of storms, that next chance for rain at least starts off towards the west. So Arizona, New Mexico, down into Mexico as well, Colorado. You're starting to see that that's going to be the next round. So we have round 1 today that I just showed you guys earlier. That's what's ongoing, Eastern Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi. Round 2 comes next week, Tuesday into Wednesday. You can see this area that we kind of highlighted that we're thinking, okay, that's the likely chance that we would have some of this activity is going to be down in parts of Texas, Oklahoma. February 9th, it's a rain event, very isolated severe storms. That's not really what we have our attention on. That will come with round 3. So February 11th, again, mid to end of next week is the most interesting for the setup. Now, this could be a multiple day type setup too. So we're just highlighting like where it starts would be Oklahoma and Texas, but then that means the next day it could be a little bit more to the east. So Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee. So that'll be something worth watching next week. Again, after our rain chances today, we kind of have that high pressure system coming back in, and it will really keep the severe weather chances at least quieted down for the rest of this week. The roofer guy said, hey guys from Triple J in Georgia. Hey, thanks for watching. I don't know exactly where you are in Georgia. You may have seen some snow last weekend. Hopefully not anything too crazy, but you'll likely see some rain going into tomorrow. So I wouldn't expect any crazy severe weather, but you may have some rain moving your way. And there you go. Again, that's where that next round will come in. Will be kind of the middle of next week. After that, we have a nice little warm up kind of heading towards the weekend. You can start to see it today. Areas to the northeast still a lot colder, and they will have more cold air that moves in. But for the rest of the country, we really are trying to warm up. By tomorrow, there is where, again, eastern side of the U.S. will see a drop in temperatures. If you're central U.S. back towards the west, warmer temperatures are moving in. Thursday, the warm air really tries to shove things off towards the east, but you can see just a great divide from Houston all the way up to St. Louis, Chicago. If you're east of that, it's going to be cold. You're going to need the jacket on Thursday. If you're to the west of that, things are nice and mild. Things are starting to improve. By Friday, a lot of that cold air gets pushed out for a day, and then you can see by Saturday, more starts to come back, especially to the northeast, the New England regions. That's where things look pretty chilly for this weekend. However, everybody else, if you're in the Central Plains back towards the west, where things have been really cold recently, that's where things are starting to change and things are a lot warmer. Cold air still sticks around by Sunday, and then really on Monday, that's when we start to shove more of that cold air out. So looking at future temperatures, what does that look like? Well, by this evening, you're in the 50s, in a lot of places 60s farther down to the south, but still cold to the north. Minneapolis, you're sitting at 7. By tomorrow morning, cold start. A lot of people still starting off below freezing, but there will be a slight warm up in the afternoon. Again, if you're more central U.S. to the west, if you are up more towards the north, Detroit, Philadelphia, Portland, you're going to be below freezing for tomorrow. Then the really cold air moves in Thursday morning. A lot of people starting off in the 20s, Memphis, Birmingham, Virginia Beach. Cold start to your Thursday, and Thursday afternoon might be a little chilly across the area if you're more of the East Coast. Central U.S., West Coast, you're in the 60s on Thursday. Things are feeling nice in the afternoon. And by Friday evening, 70s are returning. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that after the cold in January. 73 in Shreveport, 72 in Dallas. But if you're up to the northeast, you're at 26 in Philadelphia, 36 in Chicago. Hey, Minneapolis, you're sitting at 27. That's probably some of the warmest temperatures you've seen in a while. It doesn't last long. By Saturday, you're back to 6, 7, -1 in Detroit. So some really cold air moves in this weekend. For the northeast, everybody else is looking really nice. This Saturday afternoon, you're in the 60s and 70s. A lot of areas to the south. Sunday morning starts really cold again. You're below 0 in Detroit, single digits, Philadelphia, Portland. Cold start on Sunday, and then barely warming up in the afternoon for the Northeast and the New England region. So there will be some colder air, but the good news is, as we continue to look a little bit further into February, this is our extended temperature outlook. This is valid February 8th through the 12th, and you can really see a lot more of the U.S. is trending with these warmer conditions. Cold for the East, and that really has been a pattern that's been sticking around for the last 3 weeks. So they've really just kind of been locked into this cold cycle. But for others that have been dealing with the cold, it's starting to change. And then another big change with today's update is a lot more moisture is coming back into next week. So we've seen kind of the last 2 weeks that it's been pretty dry in some locations, especially for the West Coast. That is looking really likely to change next week. So we're talked about those rounds of moisture moving in, those storm chances next week, and that's also being highlighted with our extended rain outlook. Now, really quickly before we wrap things up, I'm going to attempt to see, I don't know if I could walk back around. Let's see if I could set this back up here, John. I'm going to attempt to see if I can set this back up. You can let me know one way or another. Woo. Let me switch my audio back here. Okay, John, if you can switch me back to my phone.
Let's see if we can do one more look around really fast. Perfect. Okay. Here's one more look around. So we still have people checking in. This is the entrance right here. Everything's looking good. Here's where we have a lot of our sponsors. It gets a little louder in here.
We're gonna stop this flow, which will allow visitors to come back into Oklahoma. And this is around the 12.
There's the food table.
It's not great. It's gonna be more moisture, for what I would say.
There's our HailTrace booth.
Some pretty interesting.
Frankenway pie.
2012 would be the one.
And then really quickly, we'll just get a look at Derek.
We'll get some big stuff this time of year. Just doesn't happen very often. Most likely, we won't see much. But models are a little bit of severe weather somewhere.
All right, so there you have it. There's the forecast. I'm gonna walk back in here. John, is there a way to switch this camera back around? If not, that's totally fine. Let's see if I can set this back up. Here we go. All right, there was the forecast. So again, lots of fun things happening at the Raising Hail Tour today. You just heard Derek is still talking. He's going to talk for about an hour now. So we will make sure to post more content from the Raising Hail Tour. This is the first day in Edmond, Oklahoma. We have Denton, Texas on Thursday. Like I said, next week we have Omaha. Then after that, we go to Chicago. Then we have Denver and then Minneapolis. So if you haven't joined, if you're close to any of those cities, if you are in any of those cities, you want to make sure that you are getting the most accurate hail forecast in the industry, that you're going to be around other people in the industry. It's a really good networking event as well. You can wear roofing shirts, your company shirts when you show up and you talk to people. So it's a really awesome event and just a way for people to make more connections. So we're going to hop off here. We're going to go enjoy more of Derek's talk and get you guys more fun content. So make sure that you're following us on all of our platforms. It is just at HailTrace on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, our Instagram, any platform that we post on. It is just going to be at HailTrace. We'll also have more updates throughout the day today of just fun events. I showed you guys some of that giveaway earlier, so we'll have those winners a little bit later on. And as always, we'll have our forecast back in the studio tomorrow at a normal time. So we'll see you guys back here at the same time, same place for tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Tuesday.